New information would be we did determine a cause this afternoon, right around this afternoon sometime. We determined to be unattended cooking. So we did have a resident that was started something on a stovetop, left, his smoke detector activated, and went back in, attempted to use an extinguisher, and then left the apartment. And so that's how that started. Yeah, it started on the third floor. This building's construction's different. The building falls well within code. We haven't had any complaints about this structure from these occupants or anything. So that's good news. But yeah, with the construction, it has a common attic, so there are no firewalls. By the time our crews had gotten here, there is a pipe chase that runs the middle. Fire had already extended up to the attic area and then dropped down. So our crews, upon arrival, had heavy fire on the second, third floor, and through the roof when we got here. So, like I said, this afternoon we made an aggressive interior attack. Did everything we could. Those stairs burned out pretty quick. We started to have structural collapse. The roof started to come down on our firefighters. That's the only reason we pulled out, is because we actually had guys inside and gals inside when the building started to collapse in that area.
At this point, can you confirm that the fire started from the apartment in which the family had died?
It did not start in the apartment where the family died. No, it was not that apartment.
Do we know if it was smoke inhalation that made the cause of death?
I don't have a cause of death right now.
Do you know what kind of the next steps are as far as, yeah?
Well, we're not releasing any names from the fire department. We're going to leave that up to the Independence Police Department because we're not sure if they've made all family notifications yet. So we're hands off of that. We have the cause. We've secured the building's being secured right now. I was just there. So they're boarding it up right now. Now, really, it's on the property owners to handle what they do with the structure next.
Can you tell us anything about the family? Were they local or any?
I don't have any information. Well, yes, they were local. I know one of the children was enrolled in a local school district.
And then, like, if it's an accident like that, is it possible you may face charges, or do you have an idea on?
I don't believe that the police department's going to be filing any charges in this. It appears to be a horrific accident.
You mentioned the Homebird apartment renter tried to use a fire extinguisher. Do you know how effective that was, or was it too out of control?
Well, I'm going to say it wasn't very effective. Yeah, so, we always advise, it's nice to have an extinguisher on hand. Number one, I'm going to say, for lessons learned out of this, we need to make sure that we never leave cooking unattended, okay? That how quickly things can escalate, as you can see in this instance, that when we leave cooking unattended, catastrophe can happen. Second, just for apartment fire safety, just remember, when there's a fire in your apartment, you want to make sure that you close your door on your way out because you're confining that fire. We also say close when you doze. If you're going to bed at night, make sure your bedroom's door's closed because any kind of fire barrier like that can stop the spread of fire. So we want to make sure the doors are closed to limit the spread of fire, especially in these garden-style apartments like we have behind me. They have those open gangways, those open stairwells that act as a chimney. They're made of wood. There's plenty of oxygen, plenty of wind flow, and those things can get going really fast. And then, as you can see, from the time of 911 call, which I haven't got all that information yet, we're compiling all that information. Anytime we have a major incident, we will be conducting an after-action review to make sure, take away any lessons we might learn from this, but also just to get all the information gathered in one place, and that's what we'll be doing for the next couple days to compile the information just so we can study this fire. But to see that when our first companies arrived on scene, that something that started in a kitchen spread to 2 floors and a roof and in the attic space just shows you how fast fire can spread. Why we always preach fire safety, and this is a good example.
And you said 2 firefighters were treated for burn injuries. Were any other additional firefighters hurt while responding?
No. Luckily, we just had the 2. They were treated and released. They will have to follow up. Both of them suffered third-degree burns, but very small percentage of their body. Ears, neck, hand were the injuries that they had suffered.
And it sounds like this was an unfortunate and tragic accident. Has that individual, that resident who was cooking, are they remorseful in any way? Have you talked to them?
I haven't. My investigators talked to him, so yeah, That's all I'll say on that. We're not going to.
And why did you want this press conference right now? Was it just to reveal that cause? Or what?
You know what? We're just trying to be as transparent as we can about this information. We're not here to hide anything. But more than that is when a tragedy like this happens, we want to make sure that people are educated as to why it happened. And so if tonight someone has a fire in an apartment and shuts the doors behind them or does something like that, then we can know out of this tragedy came something good. So we want to make sure that we spread this information to as many people as we possibly can, answer your questions. I know there's some other questions that had there, so we thought we'd just come out and talk to all you guys.
I know you recently became the chief here. Can you remember an instance like this ever happening in Independence or last time something happened like this?
No, not in Independence. I don't recall that. I mean, I can tell you where I came from. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I've had a lot of these in my career. Unfortunately, it's always unfortunate. It's unfortunate when you have to talk to the family of someone who's deceased in a structure fire and let them know that this happens. I don't wish it on anybody. I don't wish it on my crews who had to go in and find them, and I was with them. And I don't wish that on anybody. It's a horrific scene, but. That's why we spend so much time trying to educate people, is so that we can try to avoid tragedies like this.
Do we know if they were trapped inside, no way out, were they sleeping?
They were trapped inside. There was no way for them to get out.
So they were conscious when.
I'm not going to get too into that, but there was no way for them to get out.
How can the community help them right now? Is it the American Red Cross donations like we mentioned?
Donations to the American Red Cross, because the displaced residents are being helped by them right now. So it is always nice. Red Cross is a great partner when it comes to anytime we have fires to take care of the occupants. That's one of the emphasis we have when we had this, is we quickly create an occupant services sector where we get people. We assign a chief officer just to work with the occupants of the building, try to get them all in one place so we can provide them the resources they need next. So we try to serve the community as many ways as possible, and that's one of the ways we do so. And Red Cross is a extremely valuable partner in taking care of the community.